is going wild. CNBC is absolutely pissed off right now, watching hedge funds just get outbid in these markets, seeing short sellers take billions of dollars in losses. But this is starting a craze. Meme coins are back. The markets are feeling volatile as ever, as we see Bitcoin now sitting at $62,000, Ethereum here at $2,900, Solana $145. We are seeing markets pull back just a little bit here after having a major pump yesterday with Roaring Kitty's return. And whether you like it or not, guys, markets were reacting to his existence. It's kind of like I don't know, it's just a legend coming back into the atmosphere. And you're seeing all the videos. We're going to play out all these videos. I think even, did Dave Portnoy actually talk about him?
Yeah, Dave Portnoy just dropped a video less than an hour ago where he's saying how he's fighting for the people. He's fighting for you. He's fighting for the disco fam.
Yeah, so we're going to be breaking down all of this because you seriously, guys, let me know in chat. Okay, we got 3 numbers here today. Type 1 if you hold GME. Type 2 if you don't. Type 3 if you're on the sidelines, right? Like if you are somebody you've been just, you didn't know if you should jump in, but it was at $8, then it jumped up to $30, and you're like, I'm going to wait for it to fall. Then I went to $60.
I got a new one. Type 4 if you tried to buy GameStop, but they had halted trading at that moment.
That's even worse.
Because I think they did 8 halts yesterday. So, I mean, imagine, you're just like, you're trying to buy during the bathroom break. You're trying to buy during the lunch break, and, the elites are stopping you, essentially. The elites are stopping you from making all these incredible gains.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people get stuck in this position, DZ. They will see something start to trend, but then they never jump in and they end up sitting on the sideline and they start watching people say, man, should I dollar cost average? Should I touch this project? Is it going to pull back? And they end up just sitting here on the sideline from $15,000 Bitcoin all the way up to 65K. And they're just on the sideline. That's where the worst capitulation, I think, actually takes place. It's from the people that want to be in the market, but are sidelined because, they just don't know when to jump in. You have a comment here as well, right?
No, just looking at a lot of 1s, a lot of 2s here. We do have 1-4, and then Crimson Caravan, type 2 if you have diabetes. Oh, wait, no.
I see a 4. There's a few 4s in the chat here, so it looks like some people did get halted. Well, guys, this is pissing off institutions. It's making institutions madder than ever because what was once a long forgotten stock, people did not think Roaring Kitty was going to return. It's been roughly 3.5 years at this point. And out of nowhere, it looks like that the institutions were shorting GameStop once again, and that short squeeze is finally
plot
about
twist.
to
Have you
happen.
seen the movie?
I have seen the movie.
Plot twist, Pete Davidson character stole his phone. I can see that one. I literally just thought about that, just thinking about the movie. I was like thinking originally, maybe the wife was like, maybe had a hand in this, but the brother's the maverick. The brother's the wild card.
Well, what if he took a ton of money on the side and we don't know about it? And they're like, hey, dude, we'll give you $20 million if you just tweet.
There's that guy that put $80K into GME with hat or GME, the meme stock on Solana. It was the brother. It was the brother who did it.
It was probably the brother. Well, looking at markets here, guys, Bitcoin and Ethereum are obviously reacting to this news. We have the CPI report coming out tomorrow, and that's what markets are anticipating. So we're going to be showing you charts on what happens when Bitcoin leads into a CPI report and what happens when it leads into it both bearish and bullish and what that means for the future. But first, guys, shout out to today's sponsor and our partners here, Arculus, the #1 cold storage wallet out there, one-tap total security. If you guys haven't picked up one of these again, chat, let me know if you hold an Arculus. You're going to do the 1s again. We're doing the 1s and the 2s. 1s if you have a hardware wallet, 2 if you don't. If you're in crypto, you're now halfway, I believe, personally, into a bull market. You know what happens after a bull market, DZ?
After a bull market, we all think it's going to continue and lose all our gains.
Oh, yeah.
And that's primarily because not only do we lose our gains, so do the exchanges. And a lot of exchanges start to fold or get pushed out of the U.S., guys.
Yes.
You need to make sure you get your crypto off these exchanges, put them into hardware wallets, and secure your crypto.
That's a good point. We had exchange collapses in 2014, and then we had exchange collapses in 2018. Then we had exchange collapses in 2022. Will it happen again? History seems to indicate that it will, folks. So you got to be careful out
there.
It
often rhymes. And I know anybody in chat, if you hold an Arculus, it's the best card out there. You can sit there and be, this is the cleanest wallet you've ever used. Ease of access. Your grandparents can use it. Go check out Arculus, guys. You can get 10% off with the discount. The link is in the description below. So today, guys, Solana here, 145, XRP 50 cents. We have Lido staked 2,900.
No, is it really? Is it really 50 cents? Oh wow, it's 50 cents. Yeah.
What? XRP?
Just acting as a stable coin yet again. I know a lot of community members are frustrated. Just wants to stick to 50 cents like ribs to your palate there.
Yeah, I'm like
loves it.
I'm bearish on XRP, dude. Like, I'm bullish in the sense, great, maybe it does a 2-3x, but guys, I mean, we're going to talk about Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple and kind of the hypocrisy that he was talking against Tether CEO today with. I don't know if you saw the FUD, the little dispute. Look, we're going to get to that here in just a moment, but first we got to see what's happening in the last 24 hours. Pepe, Floki, ICP, and Memecoin, the 4 biggest memes on the market, all pumping. That's a joke. Chill, ICP community. I'm just messing. Have some fun. Lighten up. Smile once in a while. Pepe here up 12%. Floki up 8.7%. Internet Computer, well, I mean, honestly, to be fair, it's only up 1.5% here with the rest of the market. And it's really just your meme coins that are leading the last 24 hours. So smash that like button first and foremost if you guys are in meme coins. I am going to start dabbling in this atmosphere. I mean, I'm just not going to miss out on this Roaring Kitty era. I want to be in, sequel 2.0. There's going to be a second sequel. We need to stay active within this community because when this community comes back stronger than ever, he hasn't even streamed yet. Roaring Kitty hasn't streamed yet. All he did was post an image from this to this. And GameStop is liquidating billions of Wall Street hedge funds. Just imagine what a live stream would look like, right? So you have to pay attention. You guys have to be prepared. And that's exactly what we're going to be breaking down in this live stream. So subscribe, stick around, and share this video with a friend. Past that in the losers, guys, the top losers. We have WorldCoin, Render, Athena, Toncoin, BitTensor, Celestia, Sui, and Wormhole. So it looks like the top losers in today's market. This actually makes sense, DZ, because it's AI tokens. And that's going to be because of the major announcement. Again, it's kind of buy the rumor, sell the news. GTC was that biggest event. Then yesterday, ChatGPT came out with their groundbreaking. It was actually groundbreaking, to be fair. It's honestly insane. We're going to show you guys in this episode today their new latest development with ChatGPT 4. I don't know if you've seen it yet. It's insane.
I'm actually thinking about dusting off the old Pro account. I think you got to pay $15 a month. I kind of canceled it after Grok was released, but now might be time to come back. I do want to say real quick on WorldCoin, this is now coming down to the channel I said would be a good buying opportunity. You can see a little bit of a trend line that kind of forms from the wick up here to the wicks to the downside. And now we are close enough to striking range of, I would never buy this token. And if I do, just because I see just such an incredible trade, maybe I'll buy it with the pure intention of dumping at the top to hurt Sam Altman. But I do think WorldCoin's actually a pretty strong buy at this level. They say he can, he has a reality distortion field around him, Sam Altman. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing does.
It's just
10X.
like, why bet against him? It's like betting against.
Because he's a robot and he's the T1000 incarnate.
But name one multi-billionaire that's not a robot.
Oh man, you got me there.
That's why do we do this as a society?
Michael Jordan, but he's not your traditional billionaire.
Dude, he's a robot. You're telling me any human could be that good at a sport?
Have you seen the Michael Jordan carrying the tequila bottle meme?
No, I haven't.
He's having a good time. He's a robot.
No, so you do got the, I'd say, world's richest men then. How about that one? The world's richest men, there's usually something off about them and they're usually hated by society, right? That's just kind of like how human society works. They just want to be like, F that guy. And it's like, well, the dude has invented like spaceship travel. I don't know. I don't know what Elon's exactly doing, but there's a lot of advancements here. So looking at our Fear and Greed Index here tool, guys, on FOMO mode, of course, the best Fear and Greed Index tool today. It does look like in the last 24 hours, yesterday, we did have to hit that 56 greed level. However, I want to go to the 4-hour. I want an update as of this morning. That's what the beauty of this 4-hour chart is. We're going to be looking at a 36 greed. So even hourly, let's see if that actually is bounced off a little bit more. 36. So, actually, hourly is bouncing. Oh, there it is. It just reloaded. I just accidentally hit enter twice. 36 on the fear, guys. So yesterday we did have that bullish momentum to the upside. Now we're getting another pullback and retracement, and we're going to cover what that means in liquidations and if this is some buying opportunity. But we got to cover these stories, guys. Let's get hyped up. I want everybody in their damn chairs right now. If you're in your living room and we're on your big screen TV, crank up the volume, blast some, T-Swift or whatever gets you pumped up on the day, and start getting excited about GameStop GME because it has surged 120% pre-market to $67, guys. This went from like $8 a few days ago to $67, which, correct me if I'm wrong, is like already halfway to its all-time high of the entire Roaring Kitty atmosphere. I think it went up to what, 120, 130. I don't even remember the exact number.
Wicks, like 160, 140, but yeah, daily closes. You look at a lot of charts, it only goes up to $80 actually.
Exactly what we're looking at here on Google.
Josh, how can we see who actually got liquidated?
Who actually got liquidated?
If there was anyone is this another short squeeze?
Oh yeah, I have a great video we're about to play. It's hysterical because none other than the former SEC chair Jay Clownman, Clayton, or Clayton, Chad. I forgot what it is. He's like, oh no, I don't think this is a good investment. I don't think GameStop's a good investment, Easy. It's hurting my friends.
Yeah.
And
Griffith's like calling him at the same time. It took me forever to find the photo here, but does this look like a robot to you folks?
Hell
that man
yeah.
is ready to finish the rest of that bottle.
That guy looks like peak human goals, dude. He's the best of the best, and he knows how to have a good time.
He loves to gamble, they say.
Dude,
he has his own logo on his shirt.
Wait, does he?
Yeah.
That is
the Jumpman logo.
That's
is
honestly
him.
fire. Yeah. But the dude knows what's up. Well, okay, GameStop here down to $48, up 2,100% though in the last 5 years. I mean, look at this. It was kind of a perfect descending, falling wedge here. I mean, there was some support here. That $11, $10, it is back already up to $60. This is going to be volatile all day long. But like you said, it peaked at 80 here on the chart. And then, of course, we're almost right back to that level. So people are not joking this time around. I also think the atmosphere around Roaring Kitty is about 4 times bigger than it even was in 2021. At this point, almost everybody knows of the GameStop.
Yeah, and the Dumb Money movie helped a whole lot. And you kind of I hadn't actually thought of it this way. He hasn't streamed yet, like you said. So, the power that we're seeing right now, what will the stream do? Is it going to be equal power, less power, or like a 2x, 3x in attention and volume and et cetera?
I'm going to, the question I have, why is he coming back now? Is it because, yes, GameStop, there's a lot of the things happening with the derivatives market you're talking about this morning, behind the scene going on with short sellers again?
Mm-hmm.
Or is he doing something bigger?
Yeah.
Imagine if Roaring Kitty launched a project on runes, or, did something. The dude could sell anything at this point. So whatever he decides to do, whatever happens in that first stream, you need to be watching it. But look, I'm not going to fade anything he builds. So if he decides to call another, institution, I think at this point, he has half of the entire United States and at least a quarter of the world now watching him saying, all right, we're going to follow Roaring Kitty to do whatever he does to these elite groups and these institutions. It's crazy to watch. And if you guys don't believe that, go for it. You got something to say.
I was going to say, speaking of elite institutions, do we, like Nick said, do we have a way of knowing what they lost just yesterday? And folks, the day is young. The day is young. It's still only 7-something in California. Still many, many hours of the market to trade. A lot of people yet to wake up and start market buying AMC, GME, and these other meme stocks on Robinhood.
Yeah, and so here's right now with bears losing roughly $878 million. This was from yesterday night at 9:20 p.m. I'm going to play this clip because this is the first reaction. If you guys haven't seen this is hysterical. CNBC straight up says short sellers got their faces ripped off. We are breaking. They're all like, you seen the Shane Gillis clip where he's like, how white guys used to talk like, hey, on baseball, we had this high pitched weird voice.
I know you mean the old timey voice.
What's it called? Transcontinental. What is it? The transatlantic accent, right? It feels like it's that moment. And Shane Gillis says it was when Jackie Robinson came up to home plate and just hit a home run.
I feel like old movies back in the day, you could actually understand what they're saying. Today we need subtitles because scene open is crazy music and they're like, yeah, then we're gonna go into a rain of chase scene. But back in the day, the old humdinger came up to the office and I knew it was gonna be a heck of a case. And you hear it crisply. And so, yeah, I want to watch that. Send me that clip. I want to transatlantic, you said?
Yeah, I'll send that over to you because I feel like this is that moment, but for traditional finance. They're like, all right, we're packing our bags. He's back. We're done. And here it is.
All right, we got to get back to the top story on CNBC and CNBC.com
2 minutes
today. The reboom of the meme stock. Because even in after-hours trading, traders are staying long and strong. Look at that. GameStop and AMC are even higher right now. If you're on the radio, GameStop's up 20.5% after hours. That's on top of a 74% gain today. AMC is also up 22% right now, on top of what? A 78% gain today? Massive jumps today that is being followed through in after hours right now. AMC, GME, Big stories on CNBC today, no doubt.
Here it
Big
comes.
stories on CNBC and CNBC.com tomorrow. A lot of buyers. But remember, for every buyer, there's also a seller. And as GameStop was surging at one point, triple digits today, not everybody was cashing in. A group of investors were caught on the wrong side of that trade, and they got their faces ripped off.
Is this like a nature documentary he's talking about?
Like,
chimpanzees?
How's this man? Because they can't explain the market. They're just like, oh, this is just, they're aping. They're just ruining everybody. You know, it's like, it's breaking it. Like, I've never heard, I watch CNBC all the time. I watch everything. And sometimes they like, you know, they'll get a little risky with how they speak, but like long and strong and faces ripped off. Like, they're just blown away by what's happening. We still got a minute left. This is hysterical. And this explains what's happening to all the hedge funds.
And that group are the short sellers. Kate Rooney here now on the losses. They may have stacked up in just a couple of hours
Looks like
of
she smelled
trading
fart.
today, Kate.
Yeah, Sally, this happened pretty fast. So the short sellers thought the dust had settled around GameStop. A lot of us thought the dust had settled here, while Keith Gill, Roaring Kitty as he's also known, was on the sidelines of social media. The shorts, though, had been quietly adding to positions in GME. There has been an uptick in bets against that company in recent weeks. That's according.
By the way, this is confirmation. There's a sequel. Like, the news is already covering this man. Like, the clips for the sequel are already being generated.
To data from S3 Partners, over the past 30 days or so, total shares shorted climbed 5% to about a quarter of the float, which is essentially the available shares out there. With GameStop's rally today, the bears lost roughly $878 million on this trade. That's according again to S3. GME shorts are down more than $1.2 billion for the month. Short covering today was a big part of what pushed GME's price higher. S3's Igor Duzanowski expects new short sellers to jump into this trade. As he put it, the meme stock frenzy buying, he says it might be back. Short sellers may be in for a bumpy and bloody rise in these stocks. GameStop's
Hell yes.
2021 ride, we all remember that. It was a cautionary tale for the shorts. Those who were betting against it famously got burned while shorting this name. It was just seen as too risky. Hedge fund manager Dan Loeb even cited the new meme stock phenomenon as a reason to reduce single name short exposure. He told shareholders the short selling environment is, quote, more challenging than it has been historically, as the company values have taken a, quote, backseat to watching Reddit message boards. Amid all of this volatility, Brian, there were some complaints on social media of outages at E-Trade. A source confirming that there were indeed outages this morning.
There you go. Yeah, so GME guys, without roaring. Okay, I wanted to see W's, just W's. This deserves W's, and like I want to not be able to read the chat. W's, like this video, like just get excited because they are like. There's not even a single tweet. It was literally the tweet of him sitting forward, and this is now breaking the NASDAQ. It is breaking the NASDAQ. These institutions have no idea what to do, and even now, they are concerned with, they are worried about the fact that if you do short this, they're just going to lose tons and tons of money. They're like, we have to just let this go at this point. It is just, it's hysterical to watch.
Yeah, and if you look at some of the put and call options, back in the day, they would say, oh, there's no way it goes to this astronomical price. You know, I'll take that trade, pennies on the dollar. Now they're like, whoa, high probability of these things happening. And there's a lot of the upside is there's just no longer there.
Exactly. And as we see the W's come in, guys, we're now going to flip this script. I want to see only L's, losses, because here's Jay Clayton. Should you buy GME? Well, here, this is 50 seconds of Jay Clownman talking about these markets again. Here you go. Let me go ahead and hit this.
Didn't learn their lesson last time around. Second of all, retail investors are back with a vengeance, but you can't really call this investing either. These are massive swings. As a former SEC chair, what do you think when you look at all of this?
Well, it bothers me. It bothers me on many levels. I think your last guest got it right.
Pause it real quick. No, it also bother him when he could like stop, punishing all the frat guys that are kind of come in as a freshman. What do they call it? The blank week. Some sort of name for it.
Oh,
hazing. He seems like the type of guy who's like, you know what? I hate that we can't haze freshmen to death anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that really grinds my gears.
I hate we can't manipulate the markets and, totally ruin the retail investors. Like, L's in the chat for Jay Clayton. You guys need to be madder. I want to see more anger in our chat. Just LLL Jay Clayton. Here's his last 5 seconds. I want you guys to hear this part again. I want to hear you guys, this specific part right here, one more time.
Sellers didn't learn their lesson last time around. Second of all, retail investors are back with a vengeance, but you can't really call this investing either.
So Yeah, guys, we're back with the vengeance. The retailers, they're not investing. They're just gambling. There's speculation, right? You guys don't effing matter, right? What you guys decide to do, what you guys value in a stock, it doesn't matter. It's just gambling. It's speculative because we are losing. Here's what Jake Clayton said.
These are massive swings. As a former SEC chair, what do you think when you look at all of this?
Well, it bothers me. It bothers me on many levels. I think your last guess got it right. It's a lot closer to gambling than it is to trading, and it's certainly not investing.
Yeah. L's in the chat for Jay Clayton. You can go fuck yourself. That's my one cuss word of the entire show here. Again, this is us standing up. We've seen this time and time again. We've talked about this for the last 4 years, nonstop, every single day. It's why we're in Bitcoin, right? You know, people look at Bitcoin and cryptocurrency as a scam, but they don't even understand the underlying technology of blockchain. The fact that Bitcoin can clean up and actually save our world and environments. It can but pay off the debts of all the loans that all these second and third world countries are indebted to by the World Economic Forum, by the IMF, by the largest, your shark loans of the world, which is the United States. This is China. They're indebting all these second and third world countries, stealing up all their natural resources. Now, for the first time, they have an asset that they can dollar cost average into, or on top of it, use to mine it. Geothermal energy, renewables, excess gas, power grids, landfills. You can do all of these conversions and now create an actual net value. And Satoshi Nakamoto talked about this in 2008 in the white paper. So shout out to everybody in here. It pisses me off watching them just continuously bash on retail when it's our time. It's our time to shine.
Crypto Crank, did you participate in the trade, Josh? Did you buy any GameStop? I unfortunately didn't buy any GameStop. I definitely wish I had of, but you know,
I just hold AMC. I hold AMC still to this day. I've never sold it, but it's on my Robinhood account.
So you were the diamond hands.
I am that guy that still has the but I don't have GameStop.
At the end of Dumb Money, you had the red text where he's like, he lost everything.
Yeah, well, I was also the guy in 2020, 2021. I bought AMC at like, I think it was like $5 at the time. So like before it ran up to like 15, 18 bucks, whatever it was. And I've just held it ever since. It's only a few grand that's just sitting on there, but you know, hey, now it's back up. We're in profit again for the first time. So I would like to see it keep running. But let's get on to crypto, because this is going to roll over into cryptos. This is going to roll over into memes. And this is just a whole narrative and mainstream points. And just, you don't want to miss it this time. Here's a funny quote coming out from the Contrarian Desk. GME is up 20% because Roaring Kitty posted a photo on X after 3 years, and it's him throwing out the book, The Intelligent Investor.
Yeah, I actually had Matt Snyder on last night, ATB. He is an author of like finance books. And I showed that picture to him. I was like, is this how you feel right now? You know, you write this book, you know, like all these fundamental trading strategies. He wrote a book, How to Trade Like Warren Buffett in a Web3 World. I'm like, you know, something with hat pumps 5,000%. You know, does it just create a level of frustration? He said, no, he's just along for the ride. And you could use those skills even better in this environment.
Yeah, and it's just another world that we're in. This is retail's chance. This is your chance, guys. This is our time. It's finally a moment where we're standing up and we see legislation, lobbyists, we have super PACs being put together to fight back for that retail access, tokenizing, you know, treasury. These things are all things that will benefit the 99% in takeaway and hopefully, you know, put a dam up essentially and allow us to hopefully catch up, you know, maybe buy your first property, which right now to someone like my age, dude, I'm serious. It seems like a myth to even be able to buy a home, even if you're sitting on a ton, unless you can buy the house with cash outright, it's a struggle.
Yeah, you start
at
looking
points.
at those mortgage payments and, you know, you can't help but feel a little bit of frustration as well. We did have someone say it was Hell Week. Thank
Roaring
you for
Kitty just posted. Holy shit.
But speaking of Hell Week, as he looks that up, the short sellers are having a hellacious week. The 2-day losses so far, they're already at $5 billion. We do have a new Roaring Kitty tweet. He's been tweeting a lot of videos.
I have to follow him for you. Is
it another meme? Yeah, that's fine.
We have
what's he at
just
right
another
now?
meme.
I was watching. He was like 890. I watched it.
Like
he's at 1 million.
He's at it.
So he went from 120 something thousand followers to 1 million in the last 48 hours.
Woo! Yeah, I was just having fun watching him climb. We were watching it climb during the 2 p.m. live show.
Yeah, this is his most recent video. He just posts like the most
generic bull memes.
It's just memes, dude. Every 30 minutes. Can you name this movie, chat? I know this movie. It's a fantastic movie.
Fantastic strong.
You didn't like this? I fucking love this.
I said like, you know, fantastic and like, you know. Way too long.
This it?
There you go.
Yeah, where's the logo of
And-
something? And then
Wait,
it's going to
is
say
he
like
not-
short seller on the shield. No.
Wait, is he not even doing like? They're always usually a meme, right?
Yeah. If there's no meme here,
No. He just
it's just
Roaring
the
Kitty,
clip
that was
from
a
he's
fail.
just
Troy.
getting chat hyped up. He's like, this is how he feels right now. That is him to GameStop. I don't know, or to hedge
Cool.
funds. It's GameStop to these hedge funds right now. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Oh gosh.
You know, maybe I don't know. He's just hyping up his audience, dude. Look at how many views these have. Let me refresh this. He also just let's click on his name one time.
Fantastic movie. Born Identity.
That
the
one's
first
from
one.
the old one.
Yeah, the
so
first
he's notorious for posting these, by the way,
Yeah.
guys.
In that movie, he picks up a new weapon every scene.
Well, we have
That
breaking
scene, there was
news.
a pin.
Short sellers of GME and AMC are now down
Yeah.
$3.5 billion today. This puts their two-day seller losses at $5 billion. All meanwhile, guys, let's get to the crypto side of the markets here. Pepe jumping 19% to all-time high. Our all-time high following Roaring Kitty's return. The last 24 hours have been a perfect storm for Pepe. Roaring Kitty has returned, causing a meme rally and Coinbase listing rumors. According to Pepe here, Pepe has hit those all-time highs after climbing that in the last 24 hours. And I mean, it just got the market going crazy because the third largest coin in the meme category, according to CoinGecko, started seeing steady gains due to the meme influencer returning. One of his tweets featured a reimagining of a scene from Gangs of New York with the character's skin turned green, just like Pepe the Frog. And here is the clip, I believe. I should be able to click it on this one. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. So this is why Pepe is running, guys, because of this scene. He opens a door, and it's a bunch of green men, and Pepe Army went wild. So this is why Pepe hit all-time highs. So going back to Jay Clayton here, is this investing when you're when a meme coin is pumping because we saw green men in the video?
Is that investing? Is that gambling? You know, I can't help but agree with him. It feels a little bit more like gambling than investing.
I mean,
In that particular case, when you're talking about green frog coins.
still, I think he's an L. After Gil's Gangs of New York's tweet, Pepe traded mostly sideways until Coinbase experienced a system-wide outage earlier this morning. This saw Pepe's price periodically fall before unconfirmed rumors began to circulate that the centralized exchange was preparing to list the meme coin. And then, of course, here's some Pepe's turned into Keith Gill here, Roaring Kitty. That is, if you guys don't know, the famous bandana for you guys. So cool to see here. Coinbase was down for 4 hours earlier today and still has degraded status. Chat, let me know, because I haven't been on Coinbase today. Let me know if you're still having issues with Coinbase, because, again, this is going to happen when there's major outages. You just have a huge inflow. Their servers get overstormed. This is actually normal in a bull run. This is actually what tells me we're finally back, guys. When you're like starting to hit that bull run, especially at that like last week, Coinbase is going to be down like once every other day. Like it just, all of a sudden there's so much volume, it can't process it. And all these exchanges, they start getting halted, they start freezing. And just because they're having system outages, it's not because like the network's crashing. It's literally just being overfilled and overthrown. So we are back. If you guys don't believe we're back, we are officially back. This also is due to the fact that some people think this Coinbase Bitcoin seller is an absolute psychopath, just selling off massive positions in Bitcoin, and is what's been keeping us down. So we've been actually seeing huge Bitcoin sellers on Coinbase's platform.
You know, that kind of fits this theory from Dick Whitman, this, in a non-account, I've seen him pop up. He has some takes every now and then. Ghost of Whitman here. Massive inflows to the Bitcoin ETFs. Coinbase has no Bitcoin. So if you were an ETF and you did want to purchase some Bitcoins off spot, would you try to suppress it? Would you hire a whale to maybe, do some large sell orders?
And that's what I'm going to show right here too. It's a good point because look at these wicks, right? We have massive wicks that are just being bought up by the bulls. So Coinbase, you're getting these and when I say massive wicks, guys, this is, I'm pretty sure the daily, I don't even know what time frame we're on right here. Look, these wicks are going from 62,434 to 62,000. This one dropped all the way to 61,400. Those are massive wicks that are instantly bought up. So to me, this just tells me this range, that $60,000 level that we've been talking about, is that confirmed bottom. I think it's going to be almost impossible for us to break that. And the only way I see us going below $60,000 again is if the CPI report comes out tomorrow terribly. Like if it's worse than expected and the feds come out and go, oh, well, we're probably going to have to raise interest rates one more time. Like that's going to...
It does appear that
would break
kind
it.
of fitting in that theory, was it, who is selling it? Not confirmed. Not confirmed. This is just a random account here saying it is FTX official selling for cash, and they do have a wallet, and it is listed as FTX. So maybe a little interesting theory right there.
Yeah,
so.
and Will the Wise in chat pointed out a good point. If Coinbase is the #1 app on the App Store, that's how you know we've hit the board. 100%. You'll also see Crypto.com start to trend. If you guys start seeing exchanges trend in the U.S. market on the App Store, it's like, okay, retail's really entering this market. So shout out to Will the Wise, or to Wise here in the chat for saying that. But also shout out to everybody here. We got 900 beautiful people watching, guys. If you guys just do us a huge favor, sometimes you just forget to do it. It's super simple. Just click that like button on this video. Make sure you share it with a friend so they can come in, absorb all this amazing information, just kind of navigate these crypto markets together. That is what we're here for today. And again, is another reminder on why you guys need to get yourself an Arculus wallet with these exchanges, guys. If we do see these sell-offs take place and exchanges experience these outages, you can't get your crypto off those exchanges. And it's why it's so important to have your crypto on a one-tap access card like Arculus here. So that way you guys make sure you manage your keys, because not your keys, not your crypto. All right. When you put your crypto on an exchange, it's like trusting a bank. And if that bank or that exchange goes under, you're not getting your money back. So you want to make sure you have that Bitcoin, you have your Ethereum, you have your ICP, you have your XRP, whatever asset it is, make sure you have it in cold storage so you guys are taking care of yourself, and you get 10% off with the discount link in the bio below here. Bitcoin deja vu indicator mirrors pattern that led to the 2021 top. Is this the top of the Bitcoin market? I personally don't believe so, but chat, let me know, right? Say yes if you agree, say no if you don't. Yes if you believe this is the top of the market and we're just going to go down to 35, 49K. No if you believe this shit is just getting started, because I'm going to be on the latter half of that. As explained by CryptoQuant community manager Martin, in a post on X, the Bitcoin long-term holders are currently showcasing a trend that's reminiscent of 2021. The chart below shows the trend of the total Bitcoin supply held by addresses belonging to long-term holders covered over the last year. Now I'm going to open this image in a new tab so we can zoom in on this, right? Now I got to zoom out. You'll see long-term holders, right? Long-term holders sees distributing coins mirroring a trend in 2021. So that was actually the peak here. Now, I think this is actually FUD because they're zooming in here like, oh, we're at the same point. But when we actually hit this level, it's a major trend line. And if you were to draw this out, right? So let's say we get that bottoming out. Still, even if you want to say, because unless Bitcoin miners shut down, this is what that line is. It was Bitcoin miners shutting off. That's why we had that huge sell-off. But even when you look at it from that time frame, when it bottomed out and it started going, inching higher, that led to Bitcoin hitting its second all-time high. So could this be in reference to $60,000 is the bottom before we move up to that 95K level? I'm not going to be too bearish on this, but I do have to splash the cold water here and show you guys that last time this happened was when the Bitcoin miners of China shut down, and it did end up resulting in like a 50% correction on Bitcoin's price. But it also meant there was a bottom in place.
Also, there's another theory. If we share my screen, I'm looking at the same chart right here. You see a little bit of a drawdown. You see the drawdown. What about this area right here? We had a little bit of a drawdown of the long-term holders, kind of went sideways, and then we had a little bit of a dump. But we still had the price continue to pump. And so, are we right here or are we right here? We don't know yet.
Yeah, it's like they're using a 50-50 indicator with the Black Swan event that comes in. What wallet would you recommend to hold OrdiSwap in Orange so I can take it off the exchange? Well, Orange, I don't know if it's available on a lot of them, but honestly, with your altcoins, guys, I still use a ledger. Like for my altcoins, it's just not as easy to use. So I still have both, but my primary source is, of course, my sponsor, Arculus here, who I've worked with now for multiple years, guys. They're the ones responsible for the hardware wallet security behind, or not the hardware wallet, but the security behind every single metal credit card. I'm not going to pull them out of my, so you guys, I don't trust you guys, but all the metal credit cards you have in your wallet, they're essentially responsible for the tech behind it. They have a publicly traded company called CompoSecure behind them, and they are just a beast at what they deliver. But you still, it's really up to you. You need those altcoins. You still have to have those on cold storage. I personally use the Bluetooth ledger. I'm not going to lie to you guys on that one as well. It's still easy to use, but it's like my grandma can use an Arculus. She cannot use a ledger. That's just the truth.
All right, just looking at some of the people talking about GME still, buying GME on Solana. GME, I know people are talking about GME with hat as well. There's probably going to be a GME with a dog, GME with a cat. There's probably going to be 87 million GMEs. I would say if you're buying a coin, make sure it's the top one of whatever the name might be, and also check liquidity on things like Dex Screener or Dex Tools.
Well, speaking of checking charts here, like Dex Tools, this chart here is a comparison between 2016 and 2014, and the similarities are insane. So if we're looking at this chart right here, let me put this down to the side. You're going to see this massive break from 2014, 2014 all the way to 2016. When we broke above this price, we created this, like, I think that's an ascending triangle is the correct term there. But either way, we broke out. If you were to put that over to 2021 to 2024, the same thing, right? We're breaking out past this major level. We created the same exact pattern that, took place here. And then now we're retesting those previous all-time highs, just like in 2014 to 2017, retesting those all-time highs. That is why there's so much consolidation at this range, chat. Like the fact that we're hovering around $69,000, you now have institutional buyers. I'm talking Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, the same institutions that were looking at you in your face saying, you're dumb, you're stupid, that's not an investment. This ain't a hedge against inflation. We know what we're doing. We should be able to trade and, print endless amount of capital and not tell you guys what we're doing with it. We should have access to fractional banking when retailers cannot. We should be able to allow institutions and these asset managers to buy homes, but middle income families not be able to and, increase these interest rates. They control everything. It's like they get to turn on the water faucet, right? They get to turn on how much water we are actually going to be able to get. So we're at this point where we're now hovering before previous all-time highs in the $60,000 level. And somehow, because we're trading sideways for 60 days, retail is capitulating out of these markets because they're bored. I don't understand that. I am bullish.
That's what the markets are designed to do. The markets are designed to lull you into this false insecurity, to lull you to sleep, and then that's when the action starts to happen.
Exactly.
And you end up missing the whole train.
You have all of these indicators. Like institutions are buying at these levels. They weren't buying at 15K, and now you're out here telling me, nah, Josh, it's going to go back to $30,000. I just don't see a world where BlackRock and all these companies, the largest asset managers in the world, the largest institutions, come out here, finally enter this market between 50,000. Some came in the 40s. Some came in the 40s. I think they were the ones that really front ran this. But then you're looking at like Marathon Digital launching now their Bitcoin layer 2s at $60,000 Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. I just don't see a world where they make themselves look stupid when they're the ones that control these markets.
Hodl15 tweeted this out 11 hours ago, really sums it up. Just yesterday, the ETFs, 100% of the newly mined Bitcoin, 100% of Bitcoin sold by the Hong Kong ETFs, and then additional 80 Bitcoin from the willing sellers. So yeah, institutions are buying every single block that's being produced at the moment.
That's insane. Yeah, just the supply shock's coming. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if maybe it's not this year. Maybe it's next year. But the point is like, it's coming, right?
Yeah, well, it depends. Do we run out of whales that go to that old wallet with 50 Bitcoin that was mined in 2013, does that eventually run out? I think it has to, but when does it run out? That's the question.
I would definitely agree with that. It's just like, yeah, it's insane to watch. This is a chart that actually kind of explains it. Here's a thing of beauty. Study fractals. This is Bitcoin over time from 2012 to 2016. It's a little hype video for you guys. It's like, and that's where we're at today. So the point here is just like, it's been a decade. It's been like, we don't have to. I love Eric Voorhees's like thoughts on this when he was talking against Peter Schiff. And, they're like having this debate because Peter Schiff, he can't make money actually off traditional markets. He's not a good trader. Like it's very obvious. He's been in gold for, a decade and a half at this point. The way he makes his money is off fear-mongering an audience and getting them to buy his 14 failure of books, right? He's been wrong time and time again. He's even now coming out and admitting he regrets buying Bitcoin. Now he's going to try to use wordplay to make it sound smarter than he is, but no, just admit to you're freaking wrong, Peter. You're wrong. That's it. At this point, there's no argument against this. You were wrong about Bitcoin. Your investors that listened to you got wrecked because of those decisions. Now, could they have bought gold and broken even against inflation over the last 10 years? Sure. Maybe take your little victory lap against that. But what matters is with Bitcoin, you were wrong. In this sense, why I'm talking about Eric Voorhees again, guys, we don't have to explain this. Bitcoin's been adopted as a currency. Being used by second world, third world countries now and nations, as whether it's a store of value or an actual legitimized legal tender in their nations, as a hedge against negative energy markets. You can go on a list of different utilities that Bitcoin can provide at this point. we continuously win at this. And it's just a really good representation of that. Here's Bitcoin price. Bitcoin to face liquidations or face $2.7 billion liquidation if this price hits. I'm actually going to pull up the Bitcoin liquidation levels here. Liquidation.
Yeah, I got the heat map up.
You can pull it up. Let's see that.
All right, let's see. Yeah, we got a lot. Oh, we got a strong, very, very, here. You go like this, right? Boom. Yeah, look how thick that yellow band is right there. Usually you don't get that bright a yellow with that little bit of, I would say, short interest below it. But definitely it looks like more water on this side of the windshield.
What's the price at that bottom one?
That right there is $60,050. So like a hair above 60K.
So we'll zoom in on this on the liquidation map here. So a hair above 60K, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a hair above 60K would wipe out literally every long position on the market. However, there is way more shorts starting to stack up. So we're going to go back to that range. Sometimes those yellow lines turn into that support level, right? That's like where we can't break through it. Like it might come back and keep testing it a few times, but if it can't break through, it does end up turning into support. So what's going to happen next? Well, on the 7-day, we are seeing a little bit stronger of a battle between shorts and longs now. So all the way, if we were to go down to it's about $59,000, $58,000, $3 billion in longs would be wiped out versus if we were to go to 65,000, $3 billion would be wiped out from there. Let's go to the 30-day. The 30-day is still insane, okay? Looking at $70,000 Bitcoin, and my target is at 65 to 67. Everybody in chat, this is what we've been talking about for days. But 9 billion in liquidations to the upside versus almost 5 billion liquidations to the downside. So right now it's still playing in that favor. And right now we'd want to watch on signals. Where are those points of control? What are we watching for here on this chart that would tell us, okay, Bitcoin's price is going to push higher or not? We have that imbalance here around that 65,500. I'm still expecting to see a break to the upside. Right now, we're battling $62,000 live, and I do think we ended up turning this into support here on the hourly. So looking at these liquidations, you are on the 7-day heat map right there. I want to click on the monthly. On the monthly, again, guys, when we're looking at the monthly range here, you'll notice that $60,000 liquidation point doesn't pop up anymore. And it's because in the short time frame, there's a lot of liquidations there, but long term, the majority of liquidations are sitting around that 68,900 level, which would tell me on that near time frame, there's going to be volatility. This is why your traders, your shorts and long traders are getting wiped out. They get liquidated all the time because they're over leveraged. But the money wants to move to higher prices at this point. And that price point is the previous all-time high. So if we're able to break this previous all-time high, which I don't know if that's going to come next month or this month or, towards the presidential election, that $69,000 range is insanely important. So it's either going to do one of two things. It's really only going to do one of two things. Either it's going to hit that resistance and actually completely break down for the, it doesn't go any higher, or it, of course, breaks through it and then continues higher and turns that range into support. So I'm really excited for this because the liquidations right now, when we're looking on our, delta neutral, that windshield wiper method, it's about at neutral again. So we're at this range right now, $61,000, $62,000, and it's prime accumulation zone. All accumulation. We've been sitting here now for 63, 65 days at this point. Everybody's getting bored. They're calling for lower lows. You have people over leveraged long in their positions higher. The markets are going to move when everybody least expects it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that said, I do think the move is tomorrow. That's because of the
Wednesday.
CPI report. I think it's on the Wednesday.
So
I
Powell.
think it will be Powell. And I think it's going to be because he's Groundhog's Day. He gives you an extra 30 days of sunshine if he's, better than expected. And he brings dark clouds in another month of winter if it's worse than expected. So if it comes out better than expected, that's going to be followed by NVIDIA's earnings reports. I think we can get a double whammy that's going to push these markets to that $66,000, $68,000 level. If not, though, and we get back-to-back CPI is negative, this is where you have to risk manage your portfolio, guys. Let's say CPI report is worse than expected. Markets are going to start saying, man, maybe they have to raise interest rates a little bit more or keep them paused for longer, which, I honestly believe is what's going to happen. And NVIDIA comes out and it's like worse than expected. That is your double whammy to the downside. That's what breaks you below 60K.
Oh, yeah.
This is the moment.
Yeah, poor Powell report and poor NVIDIA. I would totally agree. We're going to see a little bit of a nuke in the markets for the last, at least for the next couple of weeks there. A lot of people, I still see people talking about GME. I decided to pull it up just to see the meme coin here. $116 million market cap right there. You can see people are actually going crazy buying $2,000 right there, $8,000 right there, selling $10,000, $12,000. I saw a $25,000 buy. So people, 3, 4, 15K. People are going nuts. This thing is really, really starting to move. I don't know if this is going to set in new all-time highs, folks. There's also another one. I saw someone else say GME with hat. This thing is dumping. I just watched this dump for like last 10 minutes. This is now under $1 million market cap. So, folks, just be careful out there with these meme coins. You could lose a lot of value very, very quickly. This is only going back about an hour, and it went from 27 cents to 8 cents. So if you put in $270, you're now down to $80. Just be careful out there, folks.
Volatility. It's where you got to take those profits, guys.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry, not to cut you off. Who is buying $4 worth? You're buying put the mask, put the MetaMask down, put the Phantom wallet down. Now you sold $5 worth. Just take a break, folks.
That's a dollar win.
Stop.
What are you talking about? That man just won.
That's a come up.
That's a
profits.
20% gain, and you're just you're bagging on that.
Wow.
You know what? He got himself some chiclets, so good for him.
He gets a Circle K drink. He gets a 64-ounce soda. Good for him. Hong Kong here, Bitcoin and that's funny. Ethereum ETFs face record single-day outflows on May 13th. That was the worst date here for Hong Kong and ETFs for their record outflows. So we are seeing a little bit of sell-off, but again, I like to follow Eric Balchunas on that, and he's usually a lot more accurate in the sense of...
Okay, so you disagreed with him with the Bitcoin ETF, and you've learned your lesson.
I've learned my lesson. Dude, the guy knows his information. I've admitted that plenty of times here. Was that like a Chinese, did anybody just hear that?
Yeah, someone's playing a gong outside.
I just heard someone hit a giant, that metal... What do you call those?
Maybe Kelly's doing a new variety hour.
It's like...
Yeah, they're doing the
background
show.
Well, either way, we have hodlers here. Number of Bitcoin held by publicly traded Bitcoin mining companies. Marathon is in the lead by far. They're also launching Bitcoin Layer 2. So, hey, pay attention. That's what I'm trying to say there. On top of this, you have Biden now coming out and actually banning China crypto-backed mining firm from owning land near U.S. missile base. I think this is actually a really good thing. It's one of the only things I've seen him do I was like, okay, well, we did something. Good. Congratulations. China is buying up tons of U.S. land. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm coming from Florida. They bought a lot of land in Florida, and they were trying to buy out a massive parcel in Wyoming and turn it into a Bitcoin mining facility right near a United States missile base. So this kind of just makes complete sense that they're not letting that happen for obvious reasons. Historian Yuval Noah Harari expresses skepticism about Bitcoin. This I hate. I don't know who this guy is.
Oh, you don't know Harari, eh?
Well, I've seen him 2 or 3 times, but there's a reason why I obviously don't pay attention to him. Is because his takes are incredibly
guy's literally
dumb.
Controlled by demons.
Yeah, he's a World Economic Forum thought leader, I guess would be a way to describe him. The book Sapiens is a fantastic book. I would say, I recommend Sapiens to everybody. I think everybody should read Sapiens. His sequel, where he starts to go into the future, that's when you really start to see his true colors, though. Because his first one's just anthropological findings of last 10K years. This is what humans did. We ate a bunch of megafauna. It's a pretty cool book. But when he goes into the future, he starts talking about fusing technology and human beings, and you're not, little bit leaning into the you'll own nothing and be happy narrative. Scary guy.
Yeah, and it's definitely, this is his skepticism about chat. Get this, chat, is because he's scared of Bitcoin because he calls it a currency of distrust. Meaning that Bitcoin was only built on top of distrust because people don't trust the government, but he's essentially saying we should trust the government. You should trust the central bank. It's a good thing that they've controlled the money supply for the last 100 years, even though they're the reason why we're in the position that we are with the budgets and the deficits and everything that we're, stuck with. It's a good thing. He goes, it's a currency of distrust. I do think that the future belongs to electronic money. But what we've seen over the last centuries is that it's actually a good idea to give banks and governments the ability to create more and more money in order to build more trust within the society. Well, if that was the case, then why, when they print more money, we continue to distrust them? Because they just spend this money on foreign affairs, whatever it is. They have no trackability. There's no traceability. There's no accountability. There's no transparency. And they continuously take advantage of the American people. And this is not just us. This is every single culture across the globe. It's why Bitcoin is gaining so much trust, because it's transparent. It's open source. That is the trust that we need. We just want transparency. We just want to know what the fuck you're doing with our money, right? So I was heated when I saw this. And whenever you guys see this, guys, this face here, guys, just I would say don't buy his books. Like, screw buying his books. Go buy. I'm sure there's plenty of other books out there.
Pirate Sapiens is what you're saying.
Pirates, yeah. Dude.
Just get the text file.
It's a good thing that the central banks can print money, guys. It's a good thing. It's the reason why we're here.
Yeah, he's a little ridiculous. Speaking of, I'm just reading that quote. It just makes me very, very upset. Almost as upset. Okay, good. I don't want to say good. No, I'm sorry. Not good. Not good. This thing was up 50% at one. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. Now it's up 60% just from me talking about it.
They're going crazy. That's a lot of $5 buy orders.
Hey, now it's up to $35 buys and oh wait, no, $20 sells.
That's GME with that.
And now it's already erasing all the gains. Just be careful out there, folks. Just be careful.
I'm sorry, I catched them all. I said 2 F-bomb shots. You said only 1. I did cheat today, guys. I'm sorry about that. I'm done. I get heated. I get passionate, and I use strong vocabulary. That's actually not strong vocabulary at all. That's
poor vocabulary.
It's very, very poor. But hey, I grew up around it. JP Morgan's game plan for CPI Day. Reminder that they're always wrong. I love that they added that to bar chart. So there's an 80% chance, according to JP Morgan, that we are going to see downside a 0.5% to 2.5% range of inflation. So if it comes out with that 18% chance of gains on the CPI here, month over month reading, that will be bearish. This will be bullish. So now again, they are wrong almost every single time, which is funny. Our best financial analysts out there are almost always wrong about the economy. Just can we take a moment to realize what I just said there? Because that's the truth. House overturns SEC's anti-crypto guidance. Biden to veto law decoded. The House voted to pass a bipartisan bill titled HJ yada yada yada, requiring banks to hold their customers' crypto assets on their balance sheets, which is not the case for traditional assets such as securities. However, before the vote, U.S. President Joe Biden's office issued a statement informing lawmakers and the public that his administration plans to veto a joint resolution affecting crypto policy at the SEC if it comes to his desk. The White House said it strongly opposes members of the House of Representatives seeking to pass a joint resolution it claims would disrupt the SEC's efforts to protect investors in crypto asset markets to safeguard and broader financial system. DZ, I don't know if you have thoughts on this, but to me, it's just like, dude, the SEC is corrupted crooks, and they haven't. Chat, type 1 in chat if they've protected you ever. Type 2 if they haven't. And I'm probably going to see only 2s. Like maybe there's a few instances out there where they actually saved your guys' asses. But I mean, ultimately, they've met with all these people dozens and dozens and dozens of times, and they just come around and sue them. Like they're just regulating by enforcement. That it doesn't help any investor.
Well, that's okay, because not only is it the SEC, we also have the Department of Justice. They're holding hands together in their attack against crypto. You can see Senator Lummis and Wyden oppose Justice Department's stance on Tornado Cash charges. And it's saying, is everybody a money transmitter? Does everybody have to get a transmitter requirement or a transmitter license? Because of the DOJ's loose interpretation of the money transmission licensing here. And it's really getting to the point where we're saying even the post office could be, a money transmitter, because they're saying Bitcoins have a clear owner at all times. At no point during the process is there uncertainty of where the ownership resides. Custody and control are therefore the logical touchstones of where acceptance and transmission occurs on Bitcoin and other crypto networks. So helping facilitate a trade doesn't mean you need to have a money transmitter license. What if I just wanted to mail you a gift card? Is the post office violating the SEC at that point? That's their argument.
Yeah, the only question I would have is I'd have to see like the minutes and everything, because like if he did use it for illicit activities, there's like nothing he could do. Like they're gonna just label that against him, because Tornado Cash developer Alexei has been sentenced to 64 months now in prison, which is about 5 years for pleading guilty, found guilty. Sorry, I don't think he pled guilty, but he was found guilty of money laundering by the Dutch court. So Tornado Cash developer is going to see some prison time here. To me, I think code is freedom of speech. But again, you can't just like freedom of speech, you can't say anything you want to a person. There's harassment. There's a lot of things you can and can't say, right? To an extent. But again, I think the same thing should be done with code, and it doesn't seem like that's what the SEC or any government agency wants. They just want complete control over all of that code.
Yeah, and it's what the Department of Justice wants. So that's what's going to end up happening, folks.
So here's Ripple, XRP community out here. A little bit of hypocrisy coming from I don't even mean to, guys, I'm not funny. This is the story. This is what happened. Okay, I'm just going off facts and labeling this here. Tether CEO has now responded because the Tether CEO and Ripple CEO clash over USDT. Brad Garling's house comes back on a podcast and said he wasn't attacking Tether. So what happened here is Tether CEO Paolo Ardoni, I don't even never know how to pronounce his name, but Paolo has responded to remarks made by Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, branding him as an uninformed CEO. So Tether said Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse is an uninformed CEO and accused him of fostering uncertainty about stablecoin USDT amid their SEC commission investigation into their company. In reply, Garlinghouse classified that his comments were not an attack on Tether, but rather commentary on the regulatory focus on large stablecoin issuers like Tether. This to me is, I don't like this actually. I think this was a weird attempt from the Ripple CEO because essentially he says his point. This is his quotes. My point was that the U.S. government has clearly indicated they want more control over USD-backed stablecoin issuers, and thus Tether, as the largest player, is in their line of sight. Now, to me, okay, cool. If he was just talking about that, it's different. But they're trying to launch their own stablecoin. So to me, this was a PR stunt. He was trying to say, hey, fund this because our product is better. That's clear as day on what's happening here. But at the same time, it's hypocritical that he's actually coming out and saying, well, you should be worried about USDT Tether because they're being sought after by the government when they're in the middle of a government investigation. So I think this is just a weird moment. I don't know if you have thoughts on it. I think it's just hypocritical right there.
Well, all right, in his defense, just to play both sides here, his point, in his words here, my point was the U.S. government has clearly indicated they want more control over stablecoins, and thus Tether, as the largest player, is in their line of sight. So he's more saying, I'm just kind of making an observation. I'm not saying it should be in their line of sight. It's obviously in their line of sight.
Yeah, but it's obvious too to me that like is it a coincidence that he's saying this at the same exact time they just announced their largest new product, which is a XRP stablecoin or a Ripple stablecoin? Has nothing to do with the XRP.
Oh, it's a little pot shot.
Sure. I think it's a little. It's a little back and forth, but it's just normal. You see it.
Well, you know what? If you sold water and you just happen to say, yeah, well, soda is one of the leading cause of diabetes. Are you fudding soda or are you just stating a fact?
That's true.
You're just trying to sell your water. Of course, there's a little salesmanship happening here.
It's like Warren Buffett sipping Coke. Man, Coke is so much better. It sucks that Pepsi's ingredients cause cancer. Like that's I don't know, just a weird moment. But here's also a weird moment. The SEC let Unicoin. Yes, guys, the SEC that's supposed to protect investors allowed a total scam promising 9 million plus % returns register with them. Meanwhile, they're going after real companies like Uniswap, Robinhood, and countless others. You can't make this S up. The corruption of the SEC knows no bounds. So yeah, here's the Unicoin. This was labeled, if I actually go to Hayden's.eth right here, you can see it here. Unicoin's security token offering on the INX platform is a step towards setting a new standard for cryptocurrencies, said the CEO of Unicoin. Unicoin is an assets-backed, publicly reporting, audited, and regulations-compliant cryptocurrency, unlike a totally opaque FTT or Bitcoin. Yeah, Alex, shut up, bro. Where's your yield come from? I doubt you can explain that. 9 million %. This is an obvious scam. There's no world where 9 million % actually makes sense. So
I actually love this.
Do you love this?
Because they went for it and they got it.
Hey, shout out to them. I mean, I guess you're right to that factor. The SEC won't come after them, but to come out and be like, oh, we're the SEC's poster child. It's like, you can register. It's like, well, I don't think you actually offer 9,000%. Like that's what
it was good enough for the SEC.
Well, here's the tweet that started it all. Unicorn logo, uni prefix, likely trying to confuse people with a similar name to Uniswap. Celebrity endorsements, website that promises high returns.
Look at the
ads
logo.
Everywhere, currently on all the taxis in New York City. I would bet any amount of money they're not being investigated. And then friend of the channel, I think they're actually registered. Oh, wow, shoot, I guess you're right here. And then they actually have the government link there.
One House, do you know this guy that I'm talking about? Truth telling. What do you mean truth telling crypto?
Do you know the JV guy I'm talking about? So he had something that he said prior to that. I'll look for it.
Yeah, I just read the most random comments and didn't know an answer to it. So there you go. Are you buying GME today? I think that's an who put no. Why is it no? Ethereum's first supply Ethereum's Ether supply turns inflationary for the first time since merge.
Yep.
Ethereum is now not deflationary.
Yep.
Interesting. What are your takes on this, Nick?
Okay. My real name's Nick. The gas fees are crazy low. No one's transacting right now. It's like record multi-month lows for ETH transactions, meaning no one's using ETH, and meaning so once people start using it again, it'll turn back into deflationary.
So is it that no one's using ETH because of market conditions, or is it there are more market participants using other networks?
When you say participants, I would say transactions. We're really worried about transactions, not number of people. And so just the number of transactions is down.
What about you, Nick? Demandi. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at ultrasound.money, this is kind of what happens with Ethereum. It kind of goes in a wave down to the. So yeah, this is fine. It will resume to be deflationary.
One House Production is saying a channel got taken down by the tubes yesterday. CNA, Truth Telling Crypto. I hate to see it. So yeah, I want to give them a little shout out. Let's show them a little support here. Don't know who they are.
Perfect. Yeah. No, I know. Well, what's truth telling mean is like the frogs are gay.
I mean, it could be that. It could be Earth is flat, or it could just be, your money's a scam.
I don't know.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. Either way, you got to be very careful on YouTube, guys. But hey, if he's having those issues, he should probably stream. Well, I can't say any. We love YouTube. We love YouTube.
You know what?
Thank you.
If YouTube tells you to kick rocks, you go
there.
Elsewhere.
You go. You get what I'm saying.
If they give you a big X, you can go elsewhere.
There you go elsewhere. Well, we have, speaking of elsewhere, DeFi platforms Lido and Aave surpass Bitcoin and Ethereum in fee generation. So there are other platforms showing that there is more fee generation and still protocol usage that does exist out there. And I do believe we're going to see DeFi pop up more. Here's dude. Guys, I don't mean to do this. Like, do they just purposely put articles like this in here for me? But Ripple dumped 75% of May XRP reserves. May you rest in peace, XRP community, as exit liquidity in a single sell-off. A single sell-off. Ripple, the largest XRP holder, sold $150 million tokens from this month's sell-off reserves on May 13th. The sale is worth $75 million, representing 0.25% of XRP's $28 billion capitalization, and like probably 10%, actually 10% on the dot of the overall volume. On May 1st, the company released 1 billion XRP from its initial distribution, locked in monthly escrows until 2027. Ripple then sent 200 million XRP to its treasury account and locked the remaining 800 million. Interesting sell-off there from that company. Bitcoin Lending 2.0, now DeFi, coming from Tim Draper, is ready for prime time. Draper VC startup wraps up its funding for Zest Protocol. DeFi, borrowing and lending on top of Bitcoin is bullish, guys. I recommend you guys seriously start paying attention to Bitcoin layer 2s, because you have layer 2s taking on major steps for adoption, like Stacks here, meeting with Aptos CEO here, which is another very bullish ecosystem, in my opinion, heavily VC backed. And whether you like VCs or not, unfortunately, VCs, guys, they have the money to keep costs running. So, Aptos, I think there's going to be a lot of development. They have billions of dollars in TVL. And actually, we can look this up live here on DeFi Llama. DeFi Llama, which if you guys don't use DeFi Llama, you're missing out. But Aptos here has a TVL, drum roll please, of $330 million. Now, can you pull up the market cap? The market cap right here is $3.43 billion. So Aptos, not my most bullish layer 1 or layer 2 that exists out there, right? But as a smart contract protocol, I would say it's like in the mid category if I were to list these out. I'm a little bit more bullish on things like Optimism or Base or Solana, even Solana at this point. You even have like Merlin here, Bitcoin layer 2, $1.1 billion. I think if we go to Stacks, let's see Stacks here. Actually, what is Stacks at? 117 million? I wonder what the chart is on this. Let's let it load up here. I mean, I'm bullish on DeFi in general. I don't know about you, where you stand on this. It's an obvious answer, because chat, how many of you, baby, hold Velo or Aerodrum? Can I see the Velodrum, Aerodrum holders in the chat? Also, OrdiSwap. Shout out to all you guys, all these dexes, ChainSwap, any dex, right? All the dexes out there, the AMM, the liquidity providers, that is where I'm bullish on. You have answers here.
Catch them all saying, is DeFi really dead, though? No, I wouldn't say it's dead. It goes through waves, and when it goes through its wave, it's going to pump. Chainlink's going to pump. Answer this next episode. Do you anticipate bags to hit at least $1 million if you have 90K, 30% Bitcoin, 30% ETH, 40% alt? $1 million is a little bit rich, but honestly, if you turn 90K into 300K, 400K, you should be pretty happy about that. Josh, shaving question. Do you keep the same length in your beard? What are you using? Do you shave daily?
I shave like twice a week, maybe, if I'm lucky. Like, I do my neck right now, but I keep the same length, and then I just shave it once a week, and then when I get my haircut.
Why do most people in crypto seem like they're under 5'10"? That's a good question.
Honestly, that's the number one thing I get. Every time people meet me in person, they go, "Oh, you're actually tall." They don't look like that, but I'm 6'2", so I'm actually a pretty tall person. DZ's also, how tall are you?
6'2".
6'2", yeah.
My license says 6'3", but I probably shrunk half an inch.
Yeah, that's well, you know what's not shrinking, and what's bigger than half an inch, and very above average, is Stacks' TVL. Oh, okay. So the chart did build up here. What I want to say is, there was that run up to April with all the Bitcoin layer 2s, massive TVL. There has been a bit of a pullback. So just going more confirmation. We're getting those pullbacks. We're starting to see dollar cost average entry points into these markets. Here's OKX here now holding over 50% of Bitcoin Rune's daily trading volume. For a lot of us, we put our LFG on there and tried farming the airdrop, worth literally roughly break even at this point. But, OKX is making up for the majority of those transactions. You have Solana on-chain trading volume surpassing $1.7 billion in the last 24 hours. Solana meme coins back in the chat here. And Solana meme coin devs, this is crazy, guys. It's back when your Solana meme coin devs are fighting on a live stream here. There's a whole video of it. I can't play it, but one of them gets knocked in the face pretty hard and loses a tooth. And it's pretty hysterical to watch. That's your meme coin devs on top of Solana. Past that, there's predictions that your smart contract protocols in the next few years can reach a valuation of $25 trillion. And this is going to be because of the AI integrations in the future, the need of decentralized computing, cloud computing services, rendering, etc., all integrating and causing a massive surge in the AI scene. And this leads us to the last thing I want to cover today with OpenAI introducing GPT-4o model, promising real-time conversion. Check out this dystopian-like, video of how you can solve math problems. This is the future, guys. Like, you're going to have real-time assistants that they speak to, like me, Nick Demondi, or like you guys can just ask. It's a real conversation. Nick, you had something to say on this, though, yeah?
All of the videos from this presentation are cringe.
They are cringe. They are cringe. Yeah, I wouldn't be using it for this, but this kind of gives you the movie Her.
Why did they pick? He literally posted a picture from Her.
Did he?
Sam Altman did.
Yeah, that's creepy. That's creepy.
Yeah.
Here you guys go.
OpenAI invited myself and my son Imran here to try out some of their new technology. And so we're curious about how good it might be at tutoring someone in math on Khan Academy.
They chose the worst actors.
Let's get it started. It's loading up. All right, make sure it can see our screen.
So, by the way, what they're doing right now is this new GPT language assistant. It can actually read your screen in real time. So it's a real-time AI assistant.
In this format,
hello there. I'm here with my son, and I'd love you to tutor him on this math problem, but don't give him the answer. You can ask questions and nudge him in the right direction, but I really want to make sure he understands it himself. And he's here in the room, so you can talk to him directly.
Of course, I'd be happy to help. Let's look at the problem together. Can you first identify which sides of the triangle are the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse?
Chat, which ones are they? I know none of you can answer this.
Relative to angle alpha?
All right, so...
Angle alpha. So either way, it takes them down this journey of tutoring them through the math problem without ever telling them and helping them solve and create the solution. So we're going to be at a point, and this is where, I was talking about these AI products. Like, we even have a new one that's coming out here soon. It's like Type AI, but it's another language assistant model. Like, this is where we're moving with AI language assistants. It's going to be real-time conversion. So you can think of it, there's another presentation I saw on TED with earmuffs, or earpods, where your AirPods are essentially, probably within a year, are going to be able to have a real-time conversation in another language. So if someone has an AirPod on and you have an AirPod on, you could speak in English and they could speak in Mandarin or Cantonese or any language that they've, span, doesn't matter. And you'll be able to have a real-time conversation and convergence or a conversation with this, anywhere across the world, which is huge.
And
Think
to wrap
about
it up,
that.
Nick did say Sam Altman tweeted out just the word Her. Very, very creepy. Already been seen 5 million times. I was curious, what's the top quote tweet here? You're going to love this. King Seeker Peter Frampton, sci-fi author. In my book, I invented the Torment Nexus as a cautionary tale. Tech company. At long last, we've created the Torment Nexus from the classic sci-fi novel. Don't create the Torment Nexus. That's exactly what's happening here, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're going to go.
It's a whole time.
Yeah, we got to go make some AI agents fight each other.
We do.
Like altcoin leaders.
And guys, there's 900 of you beautiful people watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Get hyped. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys check out the FOMO tool. If you guys struggle with your fear and FOMO in these markets, guys, it is the best greed and fear tool index on the entire market. FOMO.io. Hit that like button on the way out, guys. We will see you in the next episode.